Hi loves, it's Nitika Chopra here for another video, and this week I'm coming to you just having taken a bath and I'm in my pajamas. I have no makeup on and I just needed to come to you in this totally real, raw space because I am very upset right now, and I have a feeling that a lot of you watching this are probably feeling upset as well. Just knowing the different verdicts that have happened with Eric Garner and Michael Brown and all these different cases. Those are just two cases that have been really public in the media, but there's so many other cases that are out there. And I am in no way, shape, or form, political commentator, nor do I know everything I need to know about politics. There's so much that I'm learning. But what I really feel is that this is a human issue. This is just wrong when it comes to human beings. So this week I, was going to just kind of isolate, which is something that I do, totally putting myself out, calling myself out. I can isolate very easily when I feel too vulnerable, and I don't really want to put myself out there because it's hard. It's hard to put yourself out there, right? So whether you're putting yourself out there on a video or you're putting yourself out there by, going to brunch with friends and, being in public, it doesn't really matter. But whenever you put yourself out there, it can be challenging. And I'm feeling especially upset, so I wasn't sure that I was ready for it. But I will tell you that I made a promise to myself to not only show you guys the, sweet, perfect, pretty side of myself that seems like all wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow. I am a dynamic human being with many sides to myself, and I'm sure you are the same. So it just would not be of service to have me show you one perfectly put together side of myself all the time. So this week, you get the upset side of myself, but at the same time, I am not committed to stewing in the upset. So this video is really about what to do when you feel helpless. What do you do when you feel like you are surrounded by problems or tragedy that is way bigger than you even feel like you have the ability to handle or to access or to do anything about? I know for me, that used to be when I would go numb and when I would just kind of be like, okay, well, this is so much bigger than me. I'm just going to look over here because I can't handle what's happening over here. Well, I think in recent events, if there's any silver lining that has happened, this is not possible anymore. This is a human issue. It doesn't matter what color your skin is or where you come from, how much money you have. Watching that video of Eric Garner getting choked to death by a police officer and seeing what resulted from that, which was pretty much nothing, is a human issue in my opinion. So feel free to shut the video off if you don't agree. I'm not looking to make friends doing this video. I am just looking to love everyone out there who might be feeling the same thing as me. So a few things I want you to do during this time, and even if you're watching this at a time where maybe like the world isn't being stewed up as much, whether you're watching this at a later date, it doesn't matter if you're talking about the world issues that are happening or you're talking about, any tragedy that comes up in our lives. There are people that are getting diagnosed with illnesses all the time that seem so out of our comfort zone, scary, and there are people that lose their jobs or lose somebody that they love, and there's constantly things that we have to deal with in life, and sometimes those problems can feel bigger than we can manage. So the first thing I want you to do is practice being the love, okay? And I know I talk about this a lot, but it is more important now than ever. I started this video telling you that I just got out of the bath, and I haven't taken a bath in forever, but I was having such a hard time being positive and being the light and being the love that I needed to do some radical self-care so that I could really get myself there. And, that might be something you need to do too. Really up the self-care so that you can really be the love authentically and honestly. And then second thing I need you to do is to really think about how uncomfortable and vulnerable are you willing to be to help with these issues. So whether it's someone getting sick that you know, someone dying that you know, or something like Eric Garner and Michael Brown, how uncomfortable are you willing to be? No judgment, but be really honest with your own boundaries and with, what's true for you, right? So there's certain things that I know I cannot do. I cannot put myself out there to a certain capacity, because I have my own things that I have to be protective of. But I do know, which is my next point, things that I am willing to do. So how uncomfortable are you willing to get? How, out there are you willing to go for helping others is the second thing. And then the third thing is, what resource do you have that can help the situation? So for me, speaking of the world issues that are going on right now, the American issues that are going on right now, actually, I really felt like, I know people who write bills, who are Congress people. I know people who are working on the front lines. I know people who are starting crazy protests, getting arrested, all these kinds of things that, seem so much more important and valuable and bigger than I have ever done to help anybody. But instead of going there and thinking, oh, I can't do anything to help anyone, I'm not, an activist like that, or I'm not, in politics like that or whatever, instead of going there and focusing on myself and why am I not better and doing more, I focus on what can I give. So my biggest resource is my ability to listen, have compassion, and be loving to other people. And honestly, at a time like this, when I know so many people need to talk to someone, need to be heard, need to vent, need to cry, need to scream, that is actually an incredibly valuable resource. So last night, I was a part of a conference call where there was 50 of my, great friends who are really in the trenches of these issues. And we were on the phone just listening to each other, holding space for each other, loving each other, being respectful. There was no agenda, but being there. And that was incredibly powerful. So I invite you to focus on these 3 things at the time of tragedy. First, get your act together and be the love. That means up the self-care, work on making sure that you can authentically align yourself with love. Second, ask yourself, how uncomfortable are you willing to be? How vulnerable are you willing to be to put yourself out there and go through all of the different things that come up for yourself so that you can help other people? The third thing is, what resource do you have that you can give to take care of others, okay? So, I really made a commitment to myself this year that I was not going to just be one version of myself. So as much as I could have skipped the Self-Love Sunday video this week and not done a video in my pajamas with no makeup on and just really said, oh, I was too busy or I didn't have anything to say or whatever, I'm speaking to you from a very vulnerable, powerful place within me, which is not really the way that I normally speak to you. I feel like I normally have things more together. I normally try to wrap things up in a bow for all of you and make sure you feel super loved in a very safe, calm, sensitive, kind, loving way. And that is powerful and really valuable, and I do not diminish that one bit. But this is also important, and it's also valuable and important for me to be able to express myself and be super honest and fully 100 myself with you. So that's my spiel, my video for this week. I hope that you love yourself silly and be sure to spread some of that love to the people out there in your life and in the world that you might be connected to, especially online with so much social media these days. I hope you take some of that love and spread that to those people as well. I love you so much. I am so, 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 so grateful that I get to be with you. And if you liked this video, please share it. Please tell people about it. Tell people to, get their act together and be the love. And hopefully we'll be able to make a positive shift in this planet. I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.